The tension that blew up overnight. Imagine a quiet morning in Minneapolis, and then a moment that instantly ignites the country. On January 7, 2026, 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good, a U.S. citizen and mother of 3, was fatally shot by an ICE agent during a federal immigration enforcement operation in South Minneapolis. According to federal authorities, the ICE officer opened fire because he believed he was being threatened, saying Good's vehicle was being used as a weapon. President Donald Trump's administration echoed this narrative, calling it self-defense and even using strong language like domestic terrorism to describe the incident. But video footage shared by bystanders tells a conflicting story, suggesting Good's car may not have been posing the imminent threat the federal version described. This single moment, seconds long, has now exploded into a nationwide political firestorm. 2. Why this shooting is different and so controversial. This isn't just another law-enforced incident. What makes this shooting especially explosive in U.S. politics is who was involved and how it happened. It involved ICE, a federal immigration agency already at the center of intense national debates. The victim was a U.S. citizen, not someone undocumented or fleeing deportation. Video evidence and eyewitness accounts contradict claims from federal officials, leading to questions about truth and transparency. Local authorities were shut out of the investigation when the federal government invoked exclusive federal jurisdiction, prompting a clash over who gets to investigate a shooting on city streets. Across the nation, from Minneapolis to Philadelphia and New York, thousands of protesters have marched, chanting "ICE out for good," demanding answers, accountability, and an end to aggressive federal immigration enforcement tactics. This incident has become more than a shooting, it's a political symbol. 3. The political earthquake, division, accusations, and impeachment moves. Instead of calming tensions, political leaders on both sides of the aisle have poured fuel on fire. The federal government insists the ICE agent acted in self-defense. Trump, while later adopting more cautious language about the tragedy, defended continued tough immigration enforcement. Democratic response. Minneapolis officials, including Mayor Jacob Frey, publicly rejected the federal narrative, saying it's misleading and unfair. Democratic leaders in Congress are demanding greater accountability and oversight of federal immigration enforcement. Some lawmakers have even introduced articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, accusing her of obstruction and misuse of power tied to this incident and broader immigration policy. The debate isn't just about policy, it's become a symbol of trust in federal power, use of force, and the rule of law. For bigger picture, immigration, federal power, and public trust. So, what does this mean beyond Minneapolis? A deepening national divide. The United States already grapples with a deep political divide over immigration. This incident has intensified that split. Many progressives see this as proof that aggressive federal immigration tactics endanger communities and erode civil liberties. Many conservatives argue it shows the necessity of law enforcement and federal authority to maintain order and security. People across the political spectrum are asking critical questions. When is deadly force justified? Should federal agents face the same local and state scrutiny as police officers? Who gets to investigate federal officers, local prosecutors, or federal agencies? This touches on the Constitution's Supremacy Clause, which often shields federal officers from state prosecution, and now that legal protection is itself under debate. See, trust in government. The shooting has fueled public distrust from Minneapolis to Washington. D.C. critics say the federal response was too quick to defend the agent and too slow to address local concerns, undermining transparency. Some civil rights groups argue this tragedy shows the risk when federal enforcement operates with limited accountability, especially in heavily armed federal surges into cities. 5. What this means going forward, and why it matters to you. This story isn't going away. In fact, it's shaping up to be a major turning point in U.S. political debate. For the political left, it's a rallying cry to reform or restrict federal law enforcement powers, particularly immigration enforcement. For the political right, it's a case study on defending law and order and supporting federal officers in the face of rising protests. For average Americans, it raises questions about safety, transparency, justice, and how the government uses lethal force, whether during routine enforcement or in high-stakes operations. At its heart, this shooting has become a reflection of America's struggles with identity, power, and justice. Whether you lean conservative, liberal, or somewhere in between, the national debates sparked by this single moment will influence elections ahead, immigration policy, law enforcement protocols, how federal and local governments work together, and perhaps most importantly, how citizens and the